Chapter 1, The Mad Jester. At the core of Kite's combat prowess lies his conjuration nin ability, Crazy Slots. This ability materializes a sentient, talking clown head affixed to a staff. Within the clown's mouth is a roulette that randomly selects a number from 1 to 9, summoning a corresponding weapon. A fundamental rule of nin dictates that the stricter the restrictions and pledges a user imposes upon themselves, the greater the resulting aura and power will be. Kite's ability carries an incredibly high-risk restriction: he cannot choose the optimal weapon for the ever-changing tides of battle. Furthermore, once a weapon appears, he is forced to use it for its intended, proper purpose before it can be dispelled or changed. This absolute lack of choice is a severe tactical disadvantage in real combat. However, following the principle of equivalent exchange in nin, this irrational inconvenience acts as a heavy price that imbues the conjured weapons with destructive power far exceeding his base aura output. There are 3 explicitly depicted roles in the narrative. Role number 2, Silent Waltz, conjures a massive scythe that executes an invisible, omnidirectional slash around the user. It demonstrated overwhelming area of effect suppression by wiping out an entire swarm of Squadron Leader class Chimera ants in a single strike. However, because its indiscriminate range poses a lethal threat to nearby allies, Kite actively considers it a bad role. Role number 4 summons a long-barreled rifle. It was used with cold precision at point-blank range to execute the Squadron Leader Yunju, and later from a distance as a silent sniper weapon. Because it aligns perfectly with Kite's preferred combat style, swift and silent, it is presumed to be one of his most practical and efficient weapons. Role number 3, drawn during the harrowing encounter with Neferpitou, took the form of a short mace or baton. While the narrative never illustrates the physical offensive capabilities of this weapon, it holds a profound significance that fundamentally subverts the nature of Kite's mortality. Additionally, the beautiful katana Kite used to save a young Gon from a foxbear in the past is heavily theorized to be an unrevealed number in the roulette. The very nature of this ability, guided by a mocking, autonomous clown that strips away the user's agency, strongly reflects the playful influence of his master, Jing Freaks. It can be interpreted as a meticulously designed trial, forcing Kite to elevate his tactical adaptability to the absolute limit in order to survive any given scenario. Chapter 2, The Scales of the Strong. To assess where Kite stands within the hierarchy of pro hunters, we can draw reasonable inferences by comparing his encounters with the Chimera ants and the feats of other top-tier combatants. During the Chimera ant arc, Kite effortlessly dispatched the Squadron Leader Yunju in a fleeting exchange, even before the ants had mastered nin. Squadron leaders are immensely powerful biological specimens, often requiring exceptional effort from seasoned pro hunters to defeat in single combat. Furthermore, upon witnessing Kite obliterate a squad of specialized ants with Silent Waltz, the squadron leader Hagulator Leal instinctively recognized the overwhelming disparity in their strength and immediately chose to flee. This establishes that Kite possessed the foundational combat power and refinement to confidently neutralize squadron leader class threats alone. When comparing him to the extermination team members Morel and Nav, hunters personally selected and acknowledged by Chairman Netero, a distinction in combat style emerges. Morel defeated the nin using Leal through psychological warfare and intellect. His ability, Deep Purple, is a highly versatile tool tailored for support, misdirection, and tactical advantage. In contrast, Kite's ability is purely combat-oriented, designed explicitly for physical destruction and enemy eradication. In a pure, one-on-one deathmatch, it is highly probable that Kite possesses a superior degree of lethal force and suppression capability. Furthermore, considering the Phantom Troop Vanguard Phaeton suffered severe injuries before barely claiming victory over the self-proclaimed Queen Zazan, a compelling argument can be made that Kite's combat prowess operates on a tier comparable to the troop's elite fighters or the formidable assassins of the Zoldyck family. His sustained in of 45 meters serves as crucial supporting evidence. Maintaining N, which forces aura to remain extended outside the body, causes intense physical and mental exhaustion. The fact that Kite could seamlessly sustain such a wide perimeter indicates that both his total aura reserves and his precise manipulation skills had reached the realm of a true master. Chapter 3, The Sphere of Despair. The pinnacle of Kite's strength and his unwavering spirit as a hunter was most brutally highlighted during his encounter with the Royal Guard, Neferpitou. As Kite approached the visible perimeter of the Chimera ant nest, he was engulfed by Pito's N, instantly sensing an aura of an entirely different, catastrophic dimension. While Kite's N covered a 45-meter radius, Pito's N was an irregular, amoeba-like shape that extended up to an unfathomable 2 kilometers. According to the later deductions of the extermination team, Kite deliberately provoked the N out of a hunter's innate combat instinct to accurately measure the depths of the enemy's strength. Realizing the absolute disparity in power and the sense of inescapable death, Kite instantly ordered Gon and Killua to flee. However, in the microscopic fraction of a second he took to glance back and issue the command, Pito crossed the terrain at a speed imperceptible to the human eye, severing Kite's dominant right arm at the shoulder. If Kite had been operating alone, without the need to protect his apprentices, he might have possessed the option to evade the initial strike and execute an immediate tactical withdrawal. Instead, he chose to become the target to ensure the survival of the next generation's talent. Bleeding profusely and losing massive amounts of aura, Kite drew roll number 3 and faced the monster. The narrative deliberately omits the ensuing battle. Yet, the aftermath paints a vivid picture. Pito, while cradling Kite's severed head with innocent curiosity, was covered in numerous bruises and lacerations. Even acknowledging that Pito had not yet developed a specific Nen ability Hatsu, the fact that a one-armed Kite could inflict clear, physical damage upon a being who would later smile while diving into Zeno's reign of Aura Dragons is a testament to his terrifying tenacity and martial skill. Whether Kite could have secured a victory had he fought with both arms remains highly unlikely, given Pito's bottomless potential. However, a fully able Kite would have had a vastly expanded margin to avoid a direct deathmatch and escape beyond the nest's defense perimeter. It was his ultimate sacrifice as a mentor, buying time for his students to escape, that sealed his fate on that battlefield. Chapter 4, Echoes of the Soul. Defeated in a gruesome battle, Kite's life was seemingly extinguished. His remains were repaired by Pito's ability and utilized as a macabre training dummy for the soldier ants. Yet, the narrative steers toward a profound mystery regarding the nature of life in Nen. A minuscule fetus, left behind by the dying Chimera Ant Queen, would eventually grow into a red-haired young girl inheriting Kite's memories and soul. How could a soul transfer into a new vessel when the original body was completely destroyed? The key to unraveling this supernatural mechanism lies in the words Jing Freaks left for Gon. According to Jing, Crazy Slots contains a specific number that will absolutely not appear unless he truly, from the bottom of his heart, refuses to die. Moments before his battle with Pito, missing an arm and facing certain death, Kite drew roll number 3. Driven by the overriding imperative to ensure Gon and Killua reach safety, he forged an intense, desperate will to live. It is theorized that this absolute psychological extreme served as the trigger for the hidden ability within roll number 3. Rather than manifesting as a physical weapon, the ability likely functioned as a Nen operation designed to preserve and transfer the user's soul and life energy. Because Nen is known to become stronger after death, it is plausible that in his final moments, a mechanism was activated to inject his soul's backup into the reproductive cycle of the Ant Queen. The reborn girl's use of 2 distinct pronouns, a tie typically used by the young girl who was originally eaten and Kite's pronoun, provides a crucial hint. This suggests that Kite did not simply hijack an empty vessel. Instead, the lingering life force of the consumed girl and Kite's transferred soul synchronized and merged, stabilizing into a singular, new existence. The profound depths of Nen, combined with a hunter's refusal to yield, facilitated a miraculous restoration of life across the boundaries of species. Chapter 5, Awakening Destiny. As a Chimera Ant girl possessing a new life, what role will Kite play in the shifting world? Her new physical vessel was nurtured within the Chimera Ant Queen. More importantly, she was revealed to be a twin entity to the Ant King, Muruum, gestating in the womb at the same time. Born from the colossal amalgamation of life energy the Queen harvested from countless Nen users, this new body likely possesses the terrifying biological durability and immense aura capacity unique to Chimera Ant royalty, entirely separate from human limitations. When Kite's vast combat experience, tactical intellect, and precise Nen manipulation merge completely with the biological potential of her new Chimera Ant biology, there is immense room for her to awaken unprecedented, catastrophic power. Furthermore, on a macroscopic narrative level, the looming shadow of Gyro remains a crucial unresolved thread. Having witnessed the Chimera ant tragedy firsthand during the NGL Ecological Survey, Kite cannot remain indifferent to the global threat posed by Gyro, the former Shadow King of NGL who has now reportedly headed to Meteor City. With the Zodiacs and the Core Hunter Association forces currently isolated on their voyage to the Dark Continent, Kite stands as an incredibly potent remaining force in the human world. Her eventual clash with Gyro is a highly plausible and structurally sound narrative progression. Above all, Forgone, who paid a devastating price, lost his aura, and returned to an ordinary life on Whale Island, Kite remains an eternal compass. The mentor who once taught him the harsh truths of nature and sacrificed his life for Gon's future now exists in a new form. How Kite will guide her stagnant apprentice in the days to come remains a compelling mystery. The true story of Kite, inhabiting a newly awakened vessel, has only just begun to stir.